So, Brendan, I thought there's no better place to start this interview than on the Brendan Evans half-back flank going down this end. This is your domain right here.
I've run this spot a few times, that's for sure.
Now, 20 years at this footy club. Juniors, you've only ever played at one football club. It's been an incredible journey. Games record holder at the club. How does that sort of thing sit with you?
Oh, look, I don't know whether I'm just a bit too modest, but I don't tend to think about it too much, to be honest. Like, it's a good personal achievement, that's for sure. Something to be very proud of. But you know, at the same time, I don't look into it a great deal. I kind of just play football because I love the game and I love the people here. So, as much as it is a great achievement, I tend to keep away from that side of it as well. But yeah,
you don't have your own parking spot when you roll up here, or you just?
I've made one up, that's for sure. I just got to put a sign on the fence.
Now, I would imagine. I've only ever been here a couple of times. I would imagine in the middle of winter, middle of July, on a Tuesday, Thursday night, it got quite wet and cold out here, I would have thought.
Yeah, over the years, definitely. And look, to be honest, the council's put a fair bit of work in over the last few years, as you can probably see some of the drainage that's gone in. And actually these days it holds up really well. Like, as you can see at the moment, after the last few weeks of rain, it's definitely in pretty good condition. It has for the last few years, but yeah, prior to that, it could be cold, wet, muddy, miserable.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Because you've played through the journey of when grounds were bog heaps. And you've come out the other end, and you probably wish it had been switched around. Where you started your career on top of the ground, I would have thought.
Absolutely. To be honest, the way I play football, I'd rather it be days like this all the time, with it just trying to run anyway. But it's definitely been definitely the grounds have changed over the years, that's for sure.
So
it's gotten better.
There's been a few premierships.
I played in one reserves one back in 2010.
Yeah, so I don't care if they're under 10. You would never forget that, would you?
Yeah, no, exactly right. And it does seem like a lifetime ago, and well, it nearly is. It's 14 years ago since that premiership. So, yeah, it's the only one I've had success in. Did play in a senior grand final in my first year, 2009, but we lost that game. And since then, we haven't had any success, unfortunately, in the senior football department. So, hopefully, fingers crossed this year.
We're coming
is the year.
round 16, 2024. You're sitting on top. There's got to be times you put the head on the pillow of a night thinking, hey, this could be the year.
Yeah, well, look, you do, and you don't want to look too far into it. Obviously, there's still a lot of football to go. We've still got 3 pretty tough games to cap off the season. But when you're sitting on top with 3 rounds to go, you start to wonder, could this finally be the year that we might be able to do it? So, so there's a lot of footy to go, but we're in a pretty good position to hopefully go all the way, that's for sure.
So we're in the goal square here, Brendan. This club's had some really good forwards in your time here, and probably as a kid watching senior football as well. Tell us about some of your better ones.
Yeah, well, ones I've personally played with, right back at the start of my career in senior football, was Dave Walker, who was a legend of the club. Very good full forward, very good footballer. He's still involved in the club, which is good, but he's definitely one of the better forwards I've seen. Who else have we had? We've had Sean Barnes, who was a different type. He was more of a lead-up, taller, scrawnier kind of forward, but he did kick a lot of goals for us, especially when he first came to the club. So he was very pivotal during our seasons in 2010 to 2020 when he played. And at the moment, we've got Chris Wangman up there, who's leading the goal kicking. I think 60-something goals so far this year. So first year at the club, but he's fit right in. Absolute legend of a bloke and gun full forward. And he's fit right into this team, into the culture, into everything here. So
he's right up there.
He's leading the goal kicking at the moment.
No, I mean right up there in your eyes that have played in the goal square at Morwell East.
Well, I mean, he's only a year into his career here, and hopefully there's a few more years to come. But the year he's having would say that he is one of the better full forwards that probably have come through this club. There's others that people like Brad Gibson who have played full forward for a bit. He probably played when Dave was around, so probably wasn't that key target for a lot of the time. But another very good crafty forward that's definitely and played a lot of football here and kicked a lot of goals. So there are a lot that have played here during my time.
And you speak of Wangman and some really good forwards in this competition, Jake Best and the like. To be in front. He's got to be something special. I'm really looking forward to watching him today. The other one is that you made mention of the time out here and cold on a Tuesday, Thursday. 20 years at a club, putting in so much time. you must have a very good family unit.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I've got a very good support in terms of family, that's for sure. My fiance and my 2 kids, you know, they let me play football every week and let me go to train a few nights a week, so they definitely support me in that factor, and even parents and the rest of my family have always been supportive, always been behind me. They've always been involved in the club as well, which has made it easy, that's for sure.
Well, your dad was president?
Yes, yeah, he was president for a handful of years, and he did a lot of, he did some junior coaching back in the 90s when my brother was playing here, which was a long time ago now. And he's done some other various roles around the club, so yeah, definitely made it easy.
So what do you do for work?
Me, at the moment I work at AKZ Reinforcing in Morwell,
Yep.
so steel manufacturer out the back on Latrobe Road, and I'm a, well, I guess you could call it territory manager, so I'm driving around looking for work and basically like a salesman with them.
So you've been there a while?
3 years I've been there.
3 years?
Yep.
So I would imagine that a very understanding company to work for too.
Yep.
With footy, because
Yep.
it's not like when you would have started where you just turn up. Now
Yep.
there's meetings and videos and
Yep.
analysis, and you needed more
Yep.
during the week, aren't you? So it's
Yep.
come a long way.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, I've got to say, your current president,
Yep.
Colin King,
Yep.
has coached
Yes.
here at the football club.
Yep.
How do you find that as a player
Yep.
under a president that's coached the footy club and played? Do you find that that's a unique position that helps you?
Yeah, I think so. Look, King is a very passionate individual. He's
Yep.
a passionate coach. He's passionate at president. He does a very good job. He did a good job coaching, great job at presidency. So, and I think he's just a bit more understanding, being in the position where he was a player as well. So he understands the playing position, he understands the coaches. Now he understands probably that more off-field kind of stuff in the presidency. So yeah, he's been fantastic, and he continues to be. So yeah.
Best players you've ever played with here at Morwell East over the 20 years? Name a couple.
Yeah, okay. There's a few that come to mind. So when I first started senior football here, when I was just a kid, I got to play with a bloke by the name of Phil Pavey, brother with Anthony and Luke.
I played with Anthony many
There you
years
go,
ago.
yep. So I don't know if you played with Phil at all, but
No.
I only played a couple of years before he finished up his football. But yeah, he's one of the better footballers I've seen, definitely in this club.
Yep.
Just a silky left footer. I mean, typical left footer, they're all bloody silky, but yeah, he just, one of them players who got the ball and seemed to have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
And skills were unbelievable. So, but you know, in saying that, I did only get to see a couple of years with him, but definitely when I was young, definitely one of them players that stood out. Then after that, a very similar player in terms of Frank Marks.
Yeah.
He's won 3 or 4 best and fairest at this club as well. Absolute similar player, just absolute gun, left footer. You know, could hit a target from 20 or 60 metres away. Just silk, one of them left-footed silk kind of players, and he's definitely right up there with one of the best I've seen at this club. But to be honest, probably, if I'm going to name someone as the best, I think Brandon Francis.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know Brandon, I've seen him play.
Yeah. I haven't seen him play, but
Yep.
know of him.
Yeah, look, I've played football with him. He's a couple of years younger than me, but he was playing senior football here at the same time I started.
Gee.
When he was,
Yep.
I think he was only 14 or 15 years old when he started senior football, and he was already starting to dominate then. And he's one of them players who, when he hits the field, it's 110% no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, and his body's probably let him down a little bit over the years, and he'll be the first to tell you that. But no matter if he's coming back from an injury or whatever, he's always 110%. He can leap over the top of packs, take marks, big kick, can kick goals if he goes for it. He's just, yeah, he's probably the best player. Him and Frank Marks are probably the 2 best I've seen at this club. And yeah, I said Phil, but I didn't get to see much of an opportunity with Phil. But they're the 3 who definitely stand out, that's for sure.